Boom! What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and this is episode 311 of the podcast. Hope you guys are having a great week. You know what a day is, man. Today is Wednesday. We're having our friends in Fightnews. And today, I'm excited about this one because not only do I have somebody that actually knows what they're doing, somebody that's actually currently in the game, making this all happen. He also has, honestly, one of my favorite meme pages in all MMA. We are talking none other than REESE WATKINS. You guys might also know him as Baby Goose. REESE, what it do, brother? Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. Look, like I said at the top of the show, man, you have one of my favorite meme pages out there. And not only because of the memes themselves, but fam, you are out here being active with it. You're actually out here putting your ass on the line and getting it in, man. So, dude, tell the people a little bit about REESE.
Well, I'm from Atlanta. I started fighting when I started taking jiu-jitsu classes with my uncle when I was 14. And I really started fighting, getting into and focusing when I turned 16. That was like the year I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. You know, this is what I want to be good at this. So
Right.
Yeah, it just went downhill from there. Or went up.
That's awesome. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. So check it out. So now, I mean, you in seeing what you're doing, obviously, like I said, you have a striking base, but you're also in DC getting it in. You're over at 50-50 with Ryan Hall and those boys. Bro, how is that experience for you, being out there and seeing some of the best in the world?
It's super cool. I really appreciate it and like learning a new style and such because I came up like Dutch kickboxing and Muay Thai heavy base. So getting to learn like their new style of striking and stuff. I'm really enjoying it. And then the ground game is just top notch. Because before I trained at Alto Atlanta under Bruno Frazado, and then back home I trained at 10th Planet Atlanta under Sean Applegate. And so it's just reinforcing a lot of things I learned. Just leg attacks, and it's really cool, especially because a lot of their guys, it's all incorporated into MMA. And so it's a different training environment than what I've been in. I just appreciate the change up, and I'm learning a lot.
Well, let me ask you this, because coming from Atlanta, where there are some good MMA gyms. I mean, we have Douglas Lima over there who's still getting it done.
Diego, their gym is actually super tight, and they're building a new one too. I got a bunch of friends that are on ATT Team Lima. They fight out of there. I've been up there to spar and train a couple times, and the dude that was just on Tough, Trayshawn, Trayshawn used to beat the shit out of me when I was a kid. Back when I was like 16, 17, sparring out open mats, he just popped me. And so I've learned the times I've been up there, I learned a lot. And Atlanta has a bunch of good spots.
Good. Well, it's cool though, because it's like, here's a couple things that I've noticed. One, obviously going up there with Ryan Hall and them and seeing, I mean, he's a wizard on the ground. It doesn't even make sense how good dude is. And being able to your skill set, how have you felt from being there in the time that you've been there? How has your ground game grown just being around those guys?
It's helping me connect concepts a lot. Because again, they're like a big MMA. A lot of their guys do MMA. And so, coming from 10th Planet and coming from Atos, those guys are like the 10th Planet Atlanta and stuff. They're some of the best in jiu-jitsu. So all these concepts and stuff I was learning, it's helping me. Being up here at 50-50 is helping me apply them to MMA, because a lot of the coaches are like, oh, we have a ton of MMA fighters in here, or a bunch of our guys, they don't just do MMA. They're hopping there and spar. They're hopping there for kickboxing and MMA sparring, and then go teach jiu-jitsu. So they have that way of like being able to break it down that makes sense. And showing angles. And so it's like having like parents. Your parents teach you some shit, and then someone else tells you it, and it's like hearing it again from a different person.
Oh, so, dude, it ended up sticking better when you hear that. You're like, oh, that makes sense now. I get it.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro. Well, I love it, man. And before we kind of move on, one thing I have to get your mind on, because it's interesting, right? Being from Black folks, we are honestly the best in the sport. If you're starting to look at it and just keep it a bean. But it seems as if where the black people within MMA aren't in, and the athletes themselves aren't getting the love that they deserve. Being honestly the young crop of up and coming black dudes, how do you feel with, again, representing the culture within MMA? Because again, I see it on, you know, on your Baby Goose page, from everything from anime to the culture, bro. You rep it.
Yeah. You know, I haven't thought about it a ton because with fighting, I feel like fighting, like when you're in the cage, it kind of breaks you down just being a person, but definitely training in different environments uh allows people to interact with people that they wouldn't have. So like back in Atlanta and stuff, you know, knew like a bunch of cops and all that. And so it's allowing me to get to know them and them to get to know me. And so I think it humanizes people. So, you know, all these
Yeah.
people that I wouldn't normally be fucking with or something, you know, I get to know them as people and they get to know me as a person, and so vice
Yeah.
versa. So I feel like it's a great way for everyone to just see each other as like human and stuff. And then, you know, with the culture,
Love it.
it's like a culture exchange. So you meet people from all over the world, different places. You know, I
Yeah.
got like a from before he moved to California training at CSA, but he was from Serbia and stuff. So, you know,
Okay.
get to have all these different cultures, people that train all over the
Yeah.
world. And so it's a
Yeah.
great way to exchange the culture.
That's awesome, dude. It's funny you say that, man, because that's one thing that I've learned from, like, just essentially being a lifelong martial artist. Like, I've kicked it with Brazilians. Like, I've kicked it
Yeah.
with you know, guys from the Middle East. I've kicked it with those Eastern European dudes. And once you're in that space, when you're sweating, when you're bleeding, and just even the language barrier kind of breaks down, because
Yeah.
it's all good, because
Y'all
it's
all the
like we
same.
all
Yeah.
understand. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
y'all all doing the same shit.
That's one of the dopest things. One of my best training partners was a dude straight from Brazil,
Yeah.
and to this day, like, man, love that cat to death, man. And even in the what I got from him made me look at all Brazilians in a different way. Like, oh, I love those people because he's such a good dude,
Yeah,
and everybody I've
agree.
met since then has been amazing. You know,
Yeah.
this is shit, man. But let's go ahead and transition a little bit to some people that aren't some good dudes. And I appreciate you joining us today. Like I said, so for those who are listening, thank you, everybody who's going to be listening to us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. You know, check the Fight Podcast out everywhere podcasting is available: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Shit, check out Baby Goose online, man. Check out Reese Watkins online too. You know what I'm saying? Gotta let them know. But on today's menu, for those who do not know, we're gonna go ahead and recap everything UFC 266 today. Reese is gonna go ahead and hold it down. He's my co-host for the day. We're gonna talk about UFC 266. We're gonna talk about Jon Jones. We're gonna talk about everything else that's happening in the world of MMA, and we're gonna finish off a little fun today. But let's go ahead and jump on to. Unfortunately, it is the biggest news of the fight week. Jon Jones is at it again, man. So Jon Jones goes out there literally 12 hours after he was inaugurated into UFC Hall of Fame for his fight against Alexander Gustafsson. He goes out there, he gets, you know, arrested. That's the first thing we hear. A day or so later, we finally hear what happens. He goes out there, sounds like he has a domestic disturbance. He pulled his wife's hair or his fiance's hair. Sounds like he might have bloodied her nose and her lip, to the point that his daughter, his youngest daughter, had to go out there and actually, you know, call for, you know, for the cops to come. Bro, I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts on this, man? Because this is one of those things that, I just feel nasty. I feel dirty.
Man, at first it was kind of funny because it's like, oh, Jon Jones got arrested again. It's like, you know, it's like, just, okay, shit happens, you know, but seeing like the details of the case come out, because everyone just thought it was like, oh, just John's on coke again, like whatever.
Facts.
Which is like fine. I mean, hell, like he delivered an outstanding run. I told DC he beat him after a weekend of coke. Like what he does in his personal life, you know, that's like none of my business as long as it's not like fucked up.
Good point.
But it come out that it's like a domestic dispute and that he you know, he like pulled his wife's hair and then or fiance, and then especially like if he put his hands on his wife, that's kind of that's not even kind of that is just
way fucked up.
Yeah, because I know like everyone, we all shit on like Greg Hardy for doing that. And so with Jon, you know, I really feel for him kind of because it's like it just seems like sometimes he doesn't have like the right people around him. because especially like with the context when he was, going crazy on those benders and stuff. Like he came up with both of his brothers on the NFL. One's a Pro Bowl, or they're both Pro Bowlers. One's a Super Bowl champ. So he came up.
No, they're
super
both Super Bowl
talented.
champs now.
Oh, for real? That's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's like you're the champion of the world at 23. 23, right?
Yep.
And
yep.
especially given the fact that everyone heard the stories about like Jon not really training right, skipping training and all that. So you're the champion of the world, and you don't have to put in the amount of effort that other people are putting in at 23. Like at 23, that's
nuts.
still damn near a kid, right? And it's like,
seriously,
who does he have around him telling him, okay, this is what you got to do? And so it just seems like a case of like bad circumstances, and that he just keeps making these same mistakes. And but domestic abuse is it's hard to look past that. It's really hard to look past that, because drug issues, that's one thing. Even the hit and run, it's like, okay, that was fucked up, but it's like, okay, can't kind of move past that. And even the PEDs, even though he's popped other times, technically he got cleared, so it's like, okay, whatever. And it's also his MMA, so it's not like he's the only one who took PEDs.
Everybody on steroids,
right? with the like domestic violence, it's like, damn, you gotta take a second to think about like the implications of that. And that's not the same as like any other crime, any other shit.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, because for me, here's the thing. I have been hard on Jon for a while, and the reason I've been hard on Jon is because he is that talented. He is that dude, and we want, especially me. I'm always gonna be honest with this. Like I always want to cheer for the black dudes, especially in MMA. Right? You always want to leave. Like, come on, let's go. Especially when he was first coming out. Dude, he was everything that we wanted. The dude was like a superhero. I don't know if people remember his first title against Shogun Rua, when hours before the fight, he stopped a robbery. Chased down a robber, stopped a robbery right in the middle of his meditation. It was like this superhero. This dude came out of nowhere. He was, acting like he was this Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. But then we started seeing these cracks. Rashad Evans started calling him out. We started guys in his own team calling him out. A bunch of these things started happening. And then all of a sudden, he gets arrested in the strip club in 2011. In 2012 was when he goes out there and he hits the pregnant woman in the car, gets in a car accident, leaves the scene of the crime. He literally wrapped his Bentley around the thing. That was a totally different one. The wrapping the Bentley was a totally different one that he got arrested for again. And then you're right, he did piss hot multiple times.
Did he come back for the weed or something?
He came back for his weed and his cash. Hold on, I can't leave the weed and cash. You can't. No, I can't. Look.
I mean, I understand.
I understand. Look, I'm gonna need this later. I get it. Okay, I absolutely understand. But the fact that we absolutely understand. Okay, like we right here with him. You know what I'm saying? But he goes out there. He does that. He gets arrested, and then we forget last year, even when we were all supposed to be locked up. I mean, you from Atlanta, y'all niggas ain't locked up for shit. But but when the rest of us were supposed to be locked up, he was out. He got arrested again, and then this happens. And look, and I'm gonna say this, because I'm gonna ask this question: what should be done with Jon Jones? And I'm gonna say it. I think the UFC needs to. And look, I know some people aren't gonna agree with me. I know some people, I got into people on Twitter all day yesterday. Jon Jones needs to be cut. If you actually care about Jon Jones, you want him to be cut, because we cannot continue giving this dude incentives for this bad behavior. It can't happen. I mean, this is bad, man. What do you think should happen?
I feel like if Jon gets cut, then Greg Hardy needs to be cut. Everyone else for like a domestic case should be cut.
You did,
because even like the NFL, that's why Greg is over here, because he got cut from the NFL
for domestic violence,
right? For the exact same shit. And so, but I mean, I wouldn't like to see that happen, because Jon's just so damn talented. Like even when he's not trying, he's still super talented. Though, best in the world.
Well, let me ask you this.
I get it's a business,
Yeah.
But I feel like, I mean, you can't just leave it. Can't just like say, oh, like we're looking into it. You got to say something. You got to do something. You know, I get it's like technically, the fighters in the UFC aren't employees, or like independent contractors or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least say something. At least like I don't know, suspension or something.
Has to be.
But yeah, it can't. I mean, I get he has issues, but that's not the point. Like for his own good, you got to help him sort those issues out if by force necessary. So be like, look, you got to have accountability officer or something. You know, you got to be going to this, got to be going to that. Or I mean, I would say don't let him fight, but he hasn't fought in a couple years. He voluntarily hasn't fought in a couple years anyway. So like something has to be done with this. You know, making him sit out, him accountable to someone else. You know, but it can't just keep doing nothing.
Well, think about this. Like, aside from cutting him, what else can be done? Think about this. They've stripped him of his belt 3 different times.
Yeah.
He's been stripped of his belt. So they've stripped him of his belt. That doesn't work. I don't know if you guys seen his IG. He put an IG story up yesterday. Dude, it is the most tone deaf shit ever.
Talking about like leaving the alcohol or something behind. You know, I get that, but like if this is the first time, I mean, maybe second time, maybe, but this is like
the
5th, 6th.
This is like
time.
the 8th time.
And it'll be such a shame to see him cut because he's just so damn good. It's like, where would he go? You know, I guess he would go to Bellator and he'll just do the same.
I don't think Bellator picks him up, and that's the thing. If you're looking at what he's doing, and looking at his IG live, or should I say his story, to me it tells me this is a dude that doesn't understand what he did wrong. He still doesn't get it. For him, it's just like, oh, look, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to win a couple more fights, and it's going to be all good. It's like, dude, you've done that. And that's why, like I said, he to me, Jon Jones has always just come off as fake as hell. He comes off as super fake because obviously he turns around this super Christian shit.
Especially because he's more likable and entertaining when he's not like being fake, when he's just like off the rip. You know? Yeah. And I mean, you don't have to. I mean, there are a bunch of people that don't like, but who can fight their ass off. So I'm like, okay, you know. But it's at the point where it's like, okay, you gotta at least say or do something. Whether that's cut him. I mean, you can't strip him because he doesn't have a belt right now. Mm-hmm. Suspend him, but he hasn't fought in what, a year and a half?
2 years. 2 years.
So. I understand it'd be like a loss of money on the UFC's end for both parties involved, but
I think for the UFC, this is
job, but man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I do feel bad, I guess, for the individual, right? For anybody that this is going through, and obviously this is a person that's struggling with something. But you know who I really feel bad for? I feel bad for his daughters. I feel bad for his wife. So I am very much so one of those guys that if you put your hands on a woman, like, I just can't fuck with you. You know what I mean? And the fact that he did that, and the fact that he had the audacity to do this in front of his daughter is just so sad. And
it is super sad.
Yeah, man. So he obviously taking his belt away doesn't matter. He'll still do what he does. He comes back in 2 years, does it. The only thing that's going, because he obviously identifies as the best UFC fighter in the world. Not even best. I mean, I'm the best UFC fighter in the world. Dog, you take that away from him, what is he? So I'm just really curious to see what's going to be happening. Dana White, we already know, man. Dana. But I look at the UFC and I say, what's too much? Because think about this. Diego Brandao got cut for less, right?
Yeah.
Diego Brandao obviously isn't a champ, but they cut him for getting into fight. They get rid of people because there is a code of conduct that they're supposed to abide by, but they don't enforce it all the time. For the UFC, this is the richest they've ever been. They are just knocking it out of the park this year in the last 2 years. So they got all the cash that they need. If they were going to get rid of them, this would be the perfect time, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt them. And it's not going to hurt their brand. If anything, him being there is hurting their brand, in my opinion, more than anything else. But it's So that's my only thing. Like, and I do feel bad saying that because obviously you don't want to have anybody sit back and not have an ability to work. But I stand strong with that. I think he has to go. He has to go, and it's not like his ass fights anyways.
Yeah, I mean, especially given his like super, just he already has the record. He has the record. You know, the resume, the records, the statistics, the career.
Yeah.
I just hate for calling someone to like lose their job, but I mean, domestic abuses. You can't tolerate that.
You can't tolerate that, man. Like, and that's why I was so like this. I was against the UFC bringing over Greg Hardy because I'm like,
everyone was against that shit. So
exactly.
like, what message does that send?
Exactly.
And I mean, like, I get people can change. You know, with Greg, that was what, years ago, and so people
Yeah, it was like
still mad.
7 years ago at this
That was
point
a
now.
while ago. But with Jon, it's like that was what, like
Monday,
last weekend.
Yeah,
or that was last week. So
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's really, really a sad situation because, again, for those who don't know, Jon Jones should have been Conor McGregor. Jon Jones had a Nike deal. He had a Gatorade deal. He was the youngest champ in UFC history. He could have done everything and more that Conor McGregor's doing. Unfortunately, Buddy just couldn't get out of his own way. So it's really sad to see the story of him. Like I said, it is going to be the most fire 30 for 30 in a couple of years. Oh, I can't wait to see that damn 30 for 30.
30 on him will go crazy.
Dog, it's going to be so nuts.
Yeah.
That 30 for 30 is going to be crazy. I can see the 30 for 30 now. DC is going to be in it. Dana's going to be in it.
Yeah,
they all going to be in it talking
30
shit.
30 all the time.
I'm telling you, man. Well, all right. So let's go ahead and transition a little bit from Jon. Let's bring it to something that was a little bit more positive. Because, this past weekend, UFC 266 lived up to the expectations, in my opinion. I think the only card that we can maybe argue might have been better this year was UFC 261. Maybe.
Yeah.
But 266 was the shit. It was amazing. Brother, looks like your camera froze up on us.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. I'm trying to bring it up. Bring it back.
No, it's all good. So check it out. This is what we're gonna do. I'm taking you, putting you off to the back here. Turn it off and log it back in, and it should open up for you. I've seen it happen before. There you go. Cool. Well, we're gonna get Reese back on in a hot second. So we can get it, because I want you guys to see him. I want you guys to have this conversation. We'll be here with this conversation with us. And while we have a little bit of time, guys, remember, listen to the Fight Podcast everywhere podcasting is available: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Listen, like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. My man's is back. Hey, there it is. All right. So UFC 266 was fire. Before we even get into the events, just the event itself, Reese, bro, how did you feel about rate this card? How did this card, go for you?
I think it's got to be behind 261 because like 261, I lost my voice. Yeah, my team, we had like a watch party, but damn, I had a party with some of my friends to watch it, like in one of our dorms and shit. And yeah, we were all like yelling at the TV. The main card is great. I didn't catch the early prelims, but I caught some of the early prelims. And I caught all the prelims. Prelims were good. Early prelim, I think, was Jalen Turner.
Yes, it was. Jalen Turner put on a show, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah. Outstanding. Especially like he's so tall, lightweight. So I feel like the whole card, especially because it was just, there wasn't like a whole, I mean, there was like beef between Ortega and Volkanovski, but it wasn't like Usman Colby beef, or like John and DC, or like Conor and Dustin, and it was kind of, I mean, they started doing that around like Tough, and that's what Tough is. You gotta sell the show.
Oh yeah.
It was just cool. Just like, it was just fights.
Yeah. And good ones. Super competitive.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't nothing going into it. People were just, it was just a good way to, it was a good fight week or International Fight Week.
Oh,
Because Nick
absolutely.
was back. Seeing that was an interesting fight.
Well, look, my man's over here is just with the segue. I love the segue. Boom. Let's start off here. I want to start with Nick more even than the champ himself. Nick Diaz came back, fought Robbie Lawler to the best way I could explain it. It was the most volume, highest paced, fast, slow motion fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was. It was like Nick was in slow mo. And then when he came out with that like spinning hook kick or something, I got nervous because I'm like, oh dear God. And so I'm thought we were about to see like some old geriatric ass dude. And then he started just connecting. And Nick and Nate, they always had that like super high volume style. But Nick, kind of looked like his feet weren't under him for a bit on the straights, but the hooks and the uppercuts, he was just cracking them. And then Robbie looked like kind of like old Robbie.
Dog.
And even Robbie was talking about after the press conference, he's like, I'm changing up the past Robbie y'all saw a couple years ago, like for the past 2 years. That's not what I'm doing anymore. And so Robbie wasn't gun shy and Nick was just going off. But it was just the fact that Nick is just slower. He's just slower.
Do you think he was slow because of the time off? It was just being a little rusty?
I think it's a combination of everything. The time off, but almost 7 years, and then the age.
Yeah.
Especially, because it's not like in those 7 years he was off. He was training the whole time. Nick went and had like a blast. Nick went.
Nick was kicking
party
it.
After party. Right. Nick was just chilling. So I think it's just a combination of everything. And so he threw it all out, but it was somewhat almost depressing because it's like damn, especially the finish. Because I don't know if it's like his nose shattered or something, but
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, but it's like damn, it was like a feel good moment seeing him back, but seeing him fight wasn't as much of a feel good moment. Just having him around, I feel like was better. Like when he's around like 8 fights, when he's in the back and stuff in the corner, that I feel like that's cool. But seeing him fight again, it was tough.
It was tough, man. And I'm a Nick stan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love Nick Diaz. And this is one thing I'll say about it. Watching it, I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't entertained. I was fucking entertained. I was absolutely entertained. And here's the thing. I also look at it like this. If Nick is actually motivated and wants to be in there, I am okay with Nick fighting again. You know what I'm saying? I am. But if he is in the same mental place that he was this past week, where it seems like, and as we saw, Jake Shields came out on on social media saying that Nick's management kind of pushed him to take this fight. He wanted a little bit more time. Maybe he wanted to fight in December or something like that.
Yeah.
If Nick is in that place, the thing is you have to give Nick what he wants. And if he's motivated and he's going to bring it. It seems like he was motivated at a time, like a couple months ago when he was all ripped up. And it seems like, I don't know if it was the weight of it or whatever kind of got to him. But regardless, he went and fought. And he went out there he fought his ass off. And dude, the sheer volume that he did, the body shots. And one thing that it reminded me of, Nick's boxing is definitely better than Nate's.
Yeah, Nick is always because Nick had the volume and
he had some pop too.
Prime. In the prime, he had a little like technique, like crisper, technique. But Nick in his prime, he had the power that Nate didn't have. So he had the volume with the power. And like I read somewhere like the statistic for the significant strikes he threw was like 330, like it was like 339 or something. So it's like you threw that in less than 15 minutes.
Yes,
that's crazy. That's crazy as hell. And it's not, Robbie was right there in it too, throwing it right back. But for Nick, like even all week, he was saying how he didn't want to be there. And you go out and you throw 339 significant strikes. I feel like that's crazy. That's crazy,
dude.
As hell.
Yeah, man. Especially not being there in like the time that he was and he did it. So let me ask you this: if Nick is going to fight again, what matchup would you want to see him with?
Someone else, like on the tail end of their career.
Yeah.
Probably like I don't know, Cowboy.
I say Cowboy. Yep. That's it.
Because they're
Feeding
both.
the Cowboy.
Yeah, even because I feel like that would be a good send-off fight for both of them. Because
Yep.
he and Cowboy should probably both retire.
Facts. Oh yeah.
Because especially with Cowboy, it's not that Cowboy doesn't have the skill. It's just a Cowboy. He's been fighting for so long, like his body just can't take. It looks like his body just can't take the punishment anymore, and especially after he came back from having like part of his intestine removed or something, or his stomach.
Yeah.
Especially with body shots, he can't like take body shots after that surgery.
Yeah.
And so he has all the skill. Everything still looks great. It's just he like physically can't take the punishment.
He's fragile. He looks fragile when he goes out there. I mean, I always think about his last fight when we saw him against Conor, right? You see my man in there going against Conor, and the crazy thing about it was those are shots that a few years before he would have walked through.
Yeah,
he would have absolutely walked through, but he was just
game as hell, And I feel like don't want to stop doing the thing you love, but it's like, damn, dude, it's like everything's there except the durability. Because like there just comes a point, especially finding guys like younger and faster, stronger. It's just they're just gonna have that.
My man's just talking about himself. I hear you.
They're just gonna have that. They haven't. What Cowboy has over 50 fights, and God knows how many kickboxing fights he had. Who knows how many amateur fights he had if he had any.
Dude, let's not think about the gym wars he's had.
Right, and especially because he came up in that era back when before people started training smarter. And so God knows how many wars he's been in, all total combined. And so it's like everything's there, his will is there, everything's there, but like his body's literally failing him. That happens with age, but I think with him especially, because it might be. I think it's time.
Unless the UFC wants to go out there and pull an old Bellator and have this old man division where they have it's an old school BMF,
bring
right?
Dan Hardy back or something.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: I would watch Dan Hardy versus Cowboy. I would watch Dan Hardy versus for sure, I'd watch.
Because I'm sure Dan Hardy is still good as shit, skill wise, but it's just inherently it's like this is science. It's natural. We just get old.
Oh yeah,
things stop working. Especially in something so demanding.
Unless you're Romero, and that happens only when you're 50.
Yeah, but God, who the hell knows with him? So it's like that's a he's a dude and a half. But unless you're like Yoel, your body just stops. It starts
it does.
So or Yoel or I'm forgetting the Russian dude. He was a champ. I feel so bad.
Oh, you're talking about who? Not Fedor. Fedor?
No. In the UFC. Shit. He's
Arlovsky.
Yeah, Arlovsky somehow, or Glover Teixeira. Arlovsky,
another
Glover
one.
Teixeira. They're still out here at 40. And they still not as good, but still damn good. Still taking big shots, especially Glover. Glover still looks good as shit. Arlovsky is still good as shit. And
he's about to fight for the title. It's crazy.
Glover's 43 and about to fight for the title.
No. Hey, dude, I got Jan Blachowicz is pushing 40.
Yeah, Jan is up there too.
I think he's 38. I think he's 38 or 39.
Yeah, MMA is it's different than boxing because boxing just exclusively takes shots to the head. Shots to the head to the body. And so MMA is more the diversified training. But with Cowboy just he came up kickboxing and Muay Thai, and Cowboy's not just 37, 38. It's not super old, but he's old in the fight game because he's been around for so long. He's been around for so Jose Aldo's young, but Jose's old in the fight game because he's been old fighting forever.
Old as fuck. So, he even look old now. Anthony Pettis is the same way. Anthony Pettis is one of those guys that's
been around forever, just forever. So I think that your body can only do that once so many times. So,
and you see
Cowboy and I think that might be time.
Yeah, I hear you.
That the fight with Nick and Paul Daly that might shorten Nick's lifespan.
Fucking seriously.
And so it's like
Paul Daly's another one pushing 40 and it's still getting busy.
Yeah, Paul's still
getting busy.
And so I feel like I'm glad that Nick fought Robbie because I feel like if he fought someone like Leon Edwards or Ponzinibbio or someone on the younger generation. God. I feel like that would have been really hard to watch, just because they just have that, like, their bodies just haven't been through as much. But if Nick, if Nick wants to, which I doubt he does, but if Nick wants to come on like for like Dan Hardy or Cowboy or some shit, then yeah, book it. But unless he's not,
Fact.
Don't
Yeah,
do
I'm
it.
with you. I think I'm with you with that one. Unless it is a Cowboy or somebody in that vein. I look. I was happy to see him. No, I'm not mad at him stopping fighting. People are like, oh, he quit. Nah, no, he didn't. It's Nick Diaz.
Nick
He's
knew
done
what
enough.
he wants.
Yeah, he and he know, and that's the thing. You knew how it is when we've had sparring session. Everybody knows when your goose is cooked that day. Oh, you got me.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like being out here, and he deserves the respect from everybody to say, you know what, if he checks out, and we forget. Remember when Nathan got head kicked by Josh Thompson. And the only time he's been stopped in UFC, Nick was the one that threw in the towel for that fight. So Nick isn't opposed to it. People want to say like the Diaz brothers are just like these like savages. No, man, they're martial artists. They know what's going on.
Even when Nick like gets cracked, Nick will sit down and pull guard to like recover. Not Nick, Nate. Nate will sit down and pull guard to like let himself recover. So
facts.
No,
that's why I love those dudes, man. But you know who else I love right now? And I was surprised. Alexander Volkanovski goes out there and defeats Brian Ortega for this unanimous decision. And a lot of people were hating on Volk because I'll be honest with you, I've been in that crew. I to this day, Max Holloway beat him in that second fight. Y'all can take the first one, but Max won.
Yeah, the first one he definitely won. Like, I don't think anyone like expected that. But the second one, I pretty like clearly felt Max won.
You can't get dropped 4 times and win a fight.
And especially with Max is such a beloved fighter that it's like not Volkanovski did anything wrong, It's that Max is so beloved, people just started hating on him. And he wasn't like my favorite person. I thought he was like a cool dude, but I'm like, okay, I don't think you should be champ. You put in the work, but I think Max won that fight. But seeing that, it's like, how can you not respect the work ethic, the grind? Because especially I saw a video of him just sprawling and shooting. And he's like, yeah, this is the last 30 seconds of like 25 minutes of doing this straight. So like, how can you not respect that, the grind, like all that? Because it's not like with the guillotine and the triangle, especially with the guillotine, it's not just anyone's guillotine. That's Brian Ortega's guillotine. That's what he's known for. That's his signature shit.
He literally caught that man in a triangle. Brian's nickname is T-City.
Yeah, T-City. Right. T-City, and then the triangle and the guillotine. And so seeing him just tough that shit out, who the hell knows how, and then get up and win the rest of the round, that shit was incredible.
It was incredible, man.
Or take his credit too. He came back in the 5th round and
he won the fifth. He definitely won the 5th.
He won the 5th round. Like from being laid out on the canvas, like seeing his corner drag him up, like sit up, to coming back, not even like a round and a half later and winning the last round. That was incredible.
It was, dude. It was funny because it was the most entertaining one-sided fight that I've seen. It was because really it was a one-sided fight, but Ortega obviously had his moments, and I think a lot of us anticipated that if Brian won, it would be like that. He's going to take a licking, but he's going to be able to finish because he's that dynamic. Exactly. And it like you're right. It looked like he was about to catch him. I
thought that was it. I walked up the room because I was like, oh, that's it. Then I'm like, oh hell, it's not it. And I walked up the room again. I'm like, hey, that was it. And then it wasn't. And then he Volk got up and started just dropping bombs. Because like the first 2 rounds were not slow, but they were good, but they weren't like as action packed as that. And it looked like Volk. It was like close, but Volk won them. In the second round or third round, Ortega just got those 2 submission attempts, and then looked like he burned his arms out and his legs out trying to get it. Because you can't blame him. That shit was in. That shit was in.
It was in.
And then
anybody else would have tapped. Anybody else would have tapped.
Yeah.
Probably not Max Holloway. That's probably the one that wouldn't have tapped.
Yeah, and then he came back in the 5th round and won the 5th round. And so
dude, hurt Volk at the end of the round.
Yeah, cracked him bad.
Cracked him. Volk was out there, wobbly for a second.
I was like, oh shit. I'm like, there's no way. But yeah, I think that just speaks to Volkanovski in his team because it's like, damn, dude.
Salute to City Kickboxing, man.
Right, because especially with Volk, I feel like the fights with Max overshadow everything else he's done. The fight with Aldo wasn't the most entertaining, but he beat Aldo. He beat
his ass.
The fight with Chad, he beat Chad. Like,
he got dropped in that fight though. He got dropped. Yeah, he got dropped, and then he turned around. It might have even been in that same round and got him.
I don't remember because I was like 2-3 years ago. But he beat Chad Mendez. So if you look at his resume, he's done all the work. What is it? 20 fights unbeaten.
20 in a row. His current record right now is 23-1. 23-1, and he got a 20-fight win streak.
Yeah,
10-0 start to his UFC career.
Right, and it's like he just don't even do shit. He just shows up to fights and then does his own stuff on the side. So it's hard not to like him because before it's like, we want Max more, but seeing what Max just did. It's almost like I'm torn because like damn, we want to have the belt because they both fought their asses off, both best 45s in the world, except or in the UFC because I think AJ McKee's up there too. But
oh yeah. But the man AJ McKee, I love AJ McKee, man. I had an opportunity to train and work with Antonio and those guys and AJ and them, and it just seeing what they're doing and stuff. And I'll be very honest with you, I've said it also. I think that. I personally believe the two best featherweights in the world are AJ McKee and Max Holloway. That's what I've said for a while.
Sleep on AJ, not just because he's in Bellator, but because he's not from a big gym. Like his dad built that gym and everyone around him. So like
it
is
AJ not a big gym either.
Born to fight. Like AJ, his dad was like, okay, you're fighting. Like this is your job. Yep. So damn,
bro. I rolled the week before last. I rolled with Antonio McKee. Mm-hmm. I've never felt somebody so, dude, you talking about somebody heavy on top? Dude, bro, he was ragdolling me. Like, I'm talking about, like, just grabs you, just throws you around. Dude, and he's one of those guys, and again, you've seen it when you're in there with these old school MMA dudes. When you shake their hands, it feels like you're shaking bricks. Yeah. Dude, that's what he's like when you grab him. It's like, damn, bro, these mugs are just built different.
Yeah, dude. When I trained back in Atlanta under Bruno Frazado, Bruno's tiny.
A bad motherfucker, bro.
And you shake his hand, it's like what the fuck? It's like what the fuck? or even up here, like rolling with the striking coach at 50-50, Carlos Vera. His top pressure is like the hell, because back at 10th Planet, Tex Johnson would come up sometimes from Florida and shit, and so he would roll with him. It's like I'm just trying to survive, and then coming up here, I'm like, why is some dude who fights at 35 giving me flashbacks to rolling was like, how big Tex is, like 220 or something. So, or other guys in the gym like Ryan, teammate Ryan Aiken, he's like 200, and I'm like the pressure, just the grips and stuff, regardless of size, people just have it. People just build different. Volk is one of those people. I mean, it's built different.
Is, man, he got that rugby toughness. He goes out there, he grinds, and honestly, for my money, I love obviously City Kickboxing, what they're doing. We'll talk about them a little later on in the show. But let's move on to the co-main, and then we're gonna just we'll pull out our MVPs for UFC 266. But let's talk about, in my opinion, don't care what nobody says, the greatest female fighter of all time, Valentina Shevchenko, goes out there and just dusts off Lauren Murphy. She was never in trouble. Gets a easy finish.
Looks like she's not even. It's not even like Lauren Murphy's bad. It's just that Valentina is so good. Lauren Murphy's good as hell. It's just that Valentina, I think, is like the most technically sound fighter in the UFC. Like maybe like ever. Like up there with like GSP.
Dude, man or female? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Man or female. Like everything she does is just like technically flawless.
Perfect.
Like she
does beautiful. It looks perfect.
Right. Like she rarely makes mistakes. Doesn't really get caught.
No wasted movement.
Like Amanda has the accolades. She got the 2 belts. She beat the shit out of Cyborg. Beat Rob.
Hey, but you know what? I don't care what nobody says. Valentina beat her. It's the same thing. Valentina beat her in that second fight.
Valentina beat her in the second one. And then also, Valentina's fighting at 35. So it's that size difference because Amanda has like a Mack trucks in her hands. And so I feel, I feel like they're both good, but I feel like Valentina skill wise is better. And I feel like if they were the same size, I think Valentina will win.
I'll be honest with you. UFC, Sean Shelby, look at me.
They gotta book it again.
Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski, Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, same card.
Hell yeah. Take my money.
Dude, take my money.
I'll buy that for sure. I actually buy it this time. But it's like, what else makes sense for her? Because she's beating everyone. I mean, the
only thing that makes sense is if you put have her fight Brandon Moreno. That's the only other thing that would make sense.
Yeah, or what, like, because hell, only person she hasn't fought who is or was in the top 5, I think, is Joanne Calderwood.
Yep.
And I think Joanne Calderwood's good as shit too.
She's good, very good.
Especially her clinch. I think outside of Valentina, I think Joanne has like the best clinch game. Like just straight up like tie clinch in MMA. Her Joanne and Valentina. Yep. But it's like shit because Valentina isn't just a good ass striker. Valentina's a good ass grappler now.
She can do everything.
Yeah,
there's nothing she can't do.
It's all flawless. It's all flawless. So,
dude,
I feel like if Joanne Carter gets a win, book it. But if not, you gotta book Amanda before Amanda retires because Amanda's gonna retire. Like she's probably gonna retire soon. She doesn't have anything left to prove either. Amanda been dropping people out here too. Amanda's the best fucking 35-45.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe, and we'll move on after this one, do you think that even if Amanda Nunes, because it seems like Valentina said she's going to fight till she's 50. She was like, I ain't stopping. I ain't going nowhere no time soon. Can she surpass Amanda Nunes with accolades, even if they don't let her get that fight back?
Yeah, I'm like a hot take, but I feel like Valentina,
I'm here for the hot takes,
is going to break the record for UFC title defenses because she hasn't made an indication she wants to retire soon. I mean, if you look at that division, especially at 25, she's just so much better. And then she made it because Valentina made a valid ass point talking about how she thinks she has the hardest division, like not strawweight, but her division because people can come up and down from strawweight and from bantamweight. So
she got to fight the best of the best.
Yeah, so she gets the best from both weight classes, which is Joanna came up, or say Jean comes up, or say
she'll beat the shit out of Jean. I'm sorry, everyone makes it seem like that's going to be like a good fight. She would walk through Jean.
I feel I think she would be. I don't know about beat the shit, but she would definitely.
Dude, I put it like this: think about what Valentina did to Joanna.
Yeah, because Joanna. She made Joanna hittable, and
exactly.
And even though Jean won that fight,
I had Joanna winning.
If she didn't give Joanna that hematoma, who knows? Because that's a big sign of damage. That fight could have gone either way.
Hell yeah.
And Joanna kind of showed that Jean was hittable. Because you're not.
So did Rose.
Yeah, for real. You're not out trading. You're not out trading Jean, but there's no reason there's no reason Valentina would even try. She's a counter striker. So I don't think she'll be drawn into that game. Just standing and trading back and forth.
I think whatever Zhang Weili wanted to do, I think Valentina would use that against her. I think if she wants to utilize pace, I think Valentina will use that against her. I think if she wants to out-grapple her, I think Valentina will use that against her. I think Valentina is that good, Yeah, but all right, let's do this. Let's move on real quick. We have a couple more things to get in here before we get out of here. We got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about anybody else in UFC 266 just stand out to you that you want to just give some love to.
Jalen Turner real quick, especially because he said he had to sell his tarantulas to make money during COVID, so you gotta feel for the man.
I know,
but his performances is outstanding. And then Merab, I don't know what his last name, Merab Dashvali.
Yeah, Dashvali.
I've always liked watching him because I like guys who just grind it out.
Yeah.
But the fact that he came back from hell, some refs would have stopped that shit. And so the fact that he came back from that, most refs
arguably
would
should
probably
have
stopped that shit. Yeah, arguably should have. But the fact that he came back, even in that round, and then the next round to get that finish, I just think that speaks volumes to just bantamweight is so stacked. So
it's the best division in the UFC.
I gotta say,
swear.
I think it's the best. I think it's overshadowing 155 right now. It's the best division.
I couldn't agree more.
Like
Dude, it is so stacked.
The whole top 10. It's like, damn, like any one of these motherfuckers can have the belt. They're all so damn good. But I think Merab should get the MVP. Either Merab or Volkanovski for UFC 266.
Facts.
Oh, that dude.
It is incredible. It's superhuman the way that he recovered, and the fact that it was one of those that it was easily a 10-8 round when with Marlon, and then it turned from at the end. I was sitting there, I was like, is that a 9-9 round?
Yeah, because especially it's not like you got clipped by Marlon fucking Moraes.
No, I have to say this. Is Marlon Moraes, he is the biggest front runner. He is a bigger front runner than Conor McGregor. I always said Conor McGregor got 7 minutes. Marlon got 3.
I think Marlon, because I think it looks like he cut so much weight, and especially with that fight too, because has the weight cut, and then he's like, "Cool, this fight's about to be stopped, so I'm going to dump it all right now." Which some refs would have stopped the fight, so you can't get mad at him for bad decision making because everyone else would have done that. And so I think the combination of his. Because I'm sure that man tries to improve his cardio every day, but it's just you cut so much weight. There's only so much you can take. So I don't know if he should. I feel like he should probably move up to 45 because again he'll be on the shorter end. But I feel like the weight cut is holding him back.
I can see that. I could absolutely see that. But I'll be honest with you. I think for Marlon, I think this is 5 in a row. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition to the Bellator.
They might cut him, man. Especially, I feel bad
deep
because it's not like he's making huge fundamental errors. He's just it's his cardio. So I feel like either they're gonna make him like with Johnson, either make him move up, or
get rid of him. I personally think that the next big cut that happens in the UFC, I think we'll see Marlon in it. Personally, I think so. But all right, let's talk about some fight news because look, we're talking. Speaking of the 35ers, Aljamain Sterling is out. People, Aljamain Sterling is out of his title fight. And people were giving him a lot of shit. But I'll say this: he told the UFC he was not going to be ready in October, and they booked the fight anyways. He said he would have been ready in December. So I feel for him in that regard, but. Because of it, we have an interim title fight that looks fantastic. We have Piotr Jan is fighting Corey Sandhagen, coming off of his loss to TJ Dillashaw, but he's still close as shit. I had him still losing, but close ass fight. How do you see this fight going? What is your excitement level for this fight,
bro? It's like I'm excited. I think this is one of my favorite upcoming fights of the year. That and Chandler and Gaethje, because it's they're such, even though they're both strikers, they're on the opposite end of striking. Jan is in your face, walk you down, eat a couple shots here and there, and just shove it right back down your throat. Versus Sandhagen, super elusive, super hard to track down, super mobile, hands low, somewhat he has the flashy, the repertoire, and he's unpredictable. It's hard to track him. Versus Jan,
it's super high fight IQ.
Right. Versus Jan has that high fight IQ. You can change it up, take you down and stuff. But Jan is gonna look at you and just hands forward, just come at you. And so you got to deal with that. Versus
he got that Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah, just straight up. Man has everyone else is fighting like an MMA fight. Jan's like, nah. This is a Muay Thai fight. Like, fuck you mean, bro?
Straight up. So, it's him and Fizz, Rafael Fizz.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Those are my Fazayev is one of my top 3 favorite current UFC fighters. I'm
so hyped for him and Brad Riddell. I love them, man. But
dude, that fight is going to be bananas.
That might be that. Even though we've had so many great fights, that might be fight of the year. Because they're both They're both just like, okay,
they're
we're standing
durable
here.
too.
Yeah, they're standing here and we're throwing. But especially with Jan, even like his takedowns, he'll hit like tie sweeps to get takedowns.
Yep, he will.
And so, I feel it's gonna be one way or the other. Like either Jan is gonna suffocate Sandhagen with his pressure.
Yeah.
And then after a couple rounds, just tire him out because moving like that is tiring. So after a couple rounds, just tire him out, force him to make a mistake with the pressure, or Sandhagen's gonna catch him because it's not like Jan is the most elusive person. You can.
Oh, he gets hit.
Yeah.
Because remember, if we think about his fight against Jimmy Rivera, if it wasn't for the takedowns at the at the end of those rounds, I would give Jimmy the fight. But I can't wait. That's going to be a great fight. That happens in October, I believe. But also, that happens October 30th. But we also have set for December. We got Rob Font versus Jose Aldo. Dude, 135 is amazing right now. That fight, I cannot wait. And I'll be honest with you. I think Rob Font should have gotten the title shot over Corey Sandhagen. That's just me.
I think the same. Just because they're coming out the loss. Like for the
and Rob is on the longest win streak of the division.
For the integrity of the division, especially you just beat Cody for the integrity division. And I love Rob. But I gotta show you Aldo is my screensaver, bro. Aldo's my man, especially WEC Aldo. Oh, WEC Aldo's coming back. He's making resurgence.
And I'll be honest with you, dude. His last couple fights, even though he's lost a couple, he's looked good at 35.
Damn good. Damn good
at 35.
So I feel like that'll be a great fight because with Rob, it's the jab. It's the jab, man. And Aldo,
him and Max Holloway, best boxers in the UFC, baby.
Yeah. And with Holloway, not Holloway, with Aldo, it's like he got the pressure. The leg kicks if he throws them, it's the body shots. So it's his left hook, his left body shot, right straight to the body.
It's gonna be a great one.
Yeah, that's a fight too. That's also a potential fight of the year.
Facts. Oh, I can't wait. It's really one of two fights but I'll say this: Rob Font wins this fight. Rob Font needs a title shot.
Yeah, for sure.
It is what
Rob Font should have had a title shot.
Facts.
People because he doesn't say much. He's not out here posting a lot. Rob just shows up and fights and goes home.
Dude, I'm telling you what, I got for those listening, I actually have their head coach Cartier. He's coming on the show this week. I'll actually be talking to him this week, so we'll see what Rob's talking about. That's my nigga. I fuck with Rob. All right, two things before we get out here. We're gonna make these quick hitters. First off, City Kickboxing is coming to America. They're leaving New Zealand. They're coming to America. Reese, would you go train at City Kickboxing?
I'll go cross train and stuff, but nah, I can't leave my team. I have my team ever ready team. That shit's tattooed on me, bro.
There we go.
I'm always gonna be a part of that. And then especially up here at 50-50, I like to feel like smaller gyms. And with City Kickboxing, it's not like a huge super gym, but I'll definitely go see what's up. But I don't want to hop over.
I love it. Well, I'm excited about it. The fact that that just having Stylebender and the boys here in the States and Dan Hardy, I'm super excited about that. And last but certainly not least, Tyron Woodley. My man's got the I love Jake Paul tattoo. Even though he got it on his middle finger, he still got it done. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think he gets to fight. Bro, what is your thoughts? Is this
gotta respect Tyron for what he did in the UFC and in Strikeforce. He had the belt, made some title defenses when a great run. But yeah, and the tattoo's smart because it's on the palm, so that's most of that's gonna fade out. But it's like
still gotta look at it. It's on my hand. Every time I wipe my ass, I gotta look at that shit.
Right? Come on, that's don't be a bozo. He's not gonna give you the fight at this point.
Not at all.
Jake Paul is more known than you. He's the A side.
Yep.
You're the B side, especially with boxing. And so it's like, dude, don't continue to tarnish your legacy. Don't do the culture. Don't go out down bad for the culture, bro. You're making us all look bad. It's like, what the hell?
He been making us look bad for a minute now, so I ain't even worried about him.
But it's like, come on, man, to Jake Paul, come on, bro. It's like he's not gonna give you that damn fight. Jake don't give a shit about you.
Don't give a shit. That's what it is. It sucks, but
you cracked him. maybe you won the fight. I don't know enough about boxing rule sets to like say if he did or didn't. I'm gonna
He
stand
didn't
by.
have enough volume. He didn't. I'll be honest with you. He didn't.
But
He did exactly what he did in the UFC.
yeah,
So
then
it
he
is
let
what
his
it
hands
is.
go. Yeah,
Exactly, and so it's unfortunate.
He gave himself another. He didn't take it. He gave himself another L.
Oh, for sure,
So,
for sure,
yeah,
for sure. That's exactly what he did. It's unfortunate, but look,
so.
it is what it is. But yo, Reese, my brother, I appreciate you, man. That's all the topics I got for today, man. But so thank you so much. Of course, man. Thank you for coming on the show, bro. I like I said, I hope we get a chance to do this again, man. Shoot, whenever you want, you have an open invite, my G. Like I said, we can always talk about fights, absolutely, and much continued success, man. When are we gonna see you fighting again?
I'm trying to take a fight up in the DMV here on December. I may fight back in Atlanta in December, but December or January. You know, my coach, he has a fight booked in Vegas for a Muay Thai in November. So, you know, give him time for that. And then, you know, my teammates back at 10th Planet, they're getting ready for the ADCC trials. You know, shout out to Sean and Kevin and them and Chase. So, you know, I want to give them all that time and give time to get, like, I'm still getting settled and stuff and still learning a lot up here with Ryan Hall and Carlos Vera and Adam. So hopefully December.
Nice. So I love it, dude. I love it. I can't wait to see you out there. Like I said, you out there also, like I said, at the fantastic Howard University. You know what I'm saying? You salute to the Buffaloes up there and everything y'all got going. Bisons, whatever the fuck y'all are, man. You know how it is.
You know damn well.
I'm playing.
You know damn well.
And all jokes aside, my pops went there. I'm just talking shit. Love it, dude. Congratulations on everything that you've done. Everything continue doing. Much continued success, my G. And man, can't wait to see you back out there.
Thank you.
Oh, real quick, tell the people where they can find you and plug the page, man. Plug the page, please.
Go follow Baby Goose on Instagram and on TikTok, and then Watkins.Reese. That's my personal Instagram. You know, you can hit me up there.
In fact, real quick, so what got you starting the Baby Goose page? Because, like I said, it is one of my favorite meme pages on MMA out there.
Bro, I was just bored one day, and you know, all my teammates, they're all grown as hell. They had jobs and shit, and so I was just thinking all this funny shit, like these jokes. I couldn't make them to anyone. No one in school, no one at school I went to, no one got it. So you know, I'm just gonna make a fucking Instagram account, just post the shit. If it, you know, I'll just post it to post it. Wasn't even trying to start nothing, and then just started catching on. And so yeah, that's how I started. I had like no fucking friends, bro. No fucking understood it. Lonely ass motherfucker. So yeah, I just started. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. On an Instagram account, and now we got like 23,000 people.
Dude, it's all dude. It's hilarious. The fact that you put the combination of like topical funny shit like right as the fights are happening are great, but also throwing like, oh dude, it's the best, man. It really is. It's like, because you can watch that and like literally know exactly what's going on in the fights, you know, which is super sick. But also the fact that you actually put your own fight shit in there, I think is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So oh, dude, it's great, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna keep pumping your page because, I think it's awesome, and also, like I said, there got to be more of us that you know, keep it rocking. Even though my camera just went out, we're gonna fix that. Hold on, but no, it is all to the good. There we go. Got me in here.
That's the beauty of having. You got that Atlanta hoodie.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, you know what? This is actually my Atlanta Metropolitan State College. That's my granddad is the founder and first president.
Oh shit, that's what's up.
Yeah. Like I said, so I'm definitely gonna rock. This is family, bro. So so check it out. Like I grew up going to Atlanta. Like I grew up being there all the time. Like I said, my pops is from Atlanta. My grandmother still lives out there. Like Atlanta Metro is my family. Like my granddad's college, the student center is named after him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need you to stop saying the second A though. We don't say the second A in Atlanta. It's Atlanta. You out here saying Atlanta.
Hey, I'm from Chicago. I'm from Chicago, fam. I got a Chicago accent, so I probably you're right. I gotta leave that last A off.
Yeah, or the last T. Yeah, we don't say that. It's not
yo, you know what's funny? Yo, my aunt, I swear she told me the same shit a couple days ago. She's like, "Why you keep enunciating the whole thing?"
No one says the whole thing, bro. No one
Hey, well,
says
look,
that.
man, it's Atlanta, and I understand. My bad. I ain't want to get it all out there. Like I said, I miss it. I gotta go back.
There you go, twin.
You know, dude. I put it like this, fam. I used to go over there in the summers, and I used to hoop at Run and Shoot. I used to go over there with all them cats and Run and Shoot and shit when it was still like popping. I don't know if it's still popping now, but it was. So I used to go over there and kick it. And dude, I mean, look, it's my now it's my third home, but it was my second home. You know what I mean? I used to go over there and spend my summers there. I grew up in Atlanta. I love it out there. But I'm in LA now. I'm chilling.
LA's cool. LA's cool. That's where my mom's from. Yeah, I like.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, look at you, man. Like I said, we see.
Yeah, I rep some LA teams. You know, it's all one big happy family.
Hey, look, I'm a Chicago dude, live in LA, but I was always a Lakers fan, and looking at how the Lakers are built this year.
Lakers fan when they suck, you know, when Kobe wasn't there.
Hell
yeah, everyone called me a bandwagon. Nah, bro, I was a Lakers fan when we suck, bottom of the league, bro.
Dog, let them know.
Raiders fan when we suck, even though they left LA and left Oakland. Raiders fan when we suck. Now everyone's talking about, oh, you a bandwagon. Nah, so they were in the struggle. It was ass.
Yo, I got one of my homies that every time I talk about Lakers stuff, everybody want to be like, oh, it's just because of LeBron and them. One of my homies be like, Serge is actually a fan. He's been there with the purple and gold for a minute.
Been there, you know,
holding it down. Yo, so I'm gonna ask you, are we getting that chip this year?
I hate to go get Trae Young and shit, but I think it's coming back to LA. I think it's coming back.
Dude, it has to. Hey, you know what?
The Rams may win the Super Bowl too. Shit,
Rams are looking good. Rams are looking good too.
Even though Oakland fucking left. Oakland's damn good right now. You know,
they're still technically an LA team. I think LA still claims them.
Bro, I still got an LA Raiders hat. Like, fuck all that.
No, hey, as long as you don't come out here you don't get the Jerry curl rocking with.
I don't want to wear that in LA. Hell no. Hell no, bro. Hell no. But out here, no one cares about that.
Not at all. Not at all. But no, I can't wait. Tell me like this: when I saw that the media day pick with the Lakers with like all those 6 dudes standing there,
bro,
dude, my heart, bro. This is it. And here's especially because Kyrie's fucking up. Kyrie's fucking up for Brooklyn.
Fucking the Nets want to win. They all got to play like 40+ minutes. Fucking Kyrie, KD, and Harden, and they getting up there. So who knows if they don't stay healthy?
There it is.
They won't. So,
well, brother, I appreciate your time as always, fam. We like I said, absolutely have to do this again. For everybody listening, thank you guys so much for listening to the Fight Podcast. This is episode 311 of the show. My co-host today is my boy, REESE WATKINS. You might also know him as Baby Goose. Check him out. Follow the man. I will see y'all next time right here on the Fight Podcast. Deuces.
Thank y'all.